Hello, good morning, good evening, wherever you are listening to us. This is the Vibe Online podcast with myself, Megan, and with Karen. We are on episode 16. Wow,
16.
16, what a great number. Well, I say that every week, don't I? It's just to keep going. So, this week we are going to be chatting about because Karen and I and all of our online community have just come back from a phenomenal weekend in central London where we had our London Live event, which is where hundreds of us, I mean, there's thousands of us online, right, guys? There are so many entrepreneurs around the world globally that work online, and we have events that happen throughout the year in all different places, and this particular one was in London. So there was a few hundred of us, well, a couple of hundred of us all getting together in London to meet some of us for the first time. And I remember what it felt for me at my first event.
Yeah, it was pretty special, wasn't it?
It was so good, so good. So we're going to share with you a little bit today. I know we've chatted a little bit about offline events in one of our previous episodes, but that was when we was in Germany, which is a slightly different event. But this is
Yeah.
with our kind of more London-based community. So we're going to share with you kind of how the weekend went and all the good stuff, everything that was involved in that. So how are you doing, Karen?
Yeah, I'm good. I am good. I'm literally just home about 45 minutes from the weekend. So
Wow.
yeah, it's been it's been a long weekend, but an amazing weekend. So I'm still like driving back, trying to process everything and take everything in because it's a lot to take in, isn't it? And it's very, very exciting and very special to get to meet everybody offline and have those connections that, like, I met Mike, didn't I, for the first time when I came to you. And it was just like, hi, how are you? As if I had like met him a million times over before and I'd actually never met him.
It feels like you have though, like we all just
Yeah,
know each other so well.
yeah,
And
it's
what,
incredible,
even
isn't
I
it?
was like, what? It's the first time we're meeting? It's so great. But these weekends are so high energy, like just full of everyone getting together, having a great time, so much excitement. So like the couple of days afterwards are that kind of like wind down, recharge kind of time, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, just soak it all in and just kind of like re-visualize in your mind everything that you've just kind of been through, because when we're there and we're going through it, I mean, the energy and the excitement that comes from everybody, and then what the speakers deliver to us, it's just like wow. And then we have people that have been in the business for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years,
Mm.
and we learn all their experience, and it's just phenomenal where this business can take us. And as much as we learn about it all in our journey, it's these events really when we connect offline and meet people and hear their stories and their journeys and their spaghetti junctions that they hit on the way. You know, it's like all those kind of things, and you're like, God, it really is real. Like, I think
Mm.
that's when it hits home for me, that it's actually it is a real life, it's real business, everybody is real people. I mean, obviously we know that we've been in this for 18 months, but I think it still reiterates that to me every time about the power
Yeah.
of this business and what we have.
Yeah, I agree. And I love what I love about it as well is that when you meet these people, you're kind of nervous because you're like, are they going to be like what they are online? And I've not met these people before, but I kind of know them, but I don't kind of know them. They're still kind of strangers because we've not
Yeah,
met in real life. But then when you meet them and then you realize that they are exactly the same as what they are as they come across on their social medias, when they go onto Zoom, these team calls, and when you chat to them, and it's so nice
yeah,
and just genuine, and it's like you click straight away, that all of that fear, all of that nervousness just like disseminates, because
yeah,
as soon as you're together it's like, okay, I'm here and this is real and this is great.
yeah,
So Saturday was like the main event, wasn't it? So we had
it
all of the
was.
speakers up on stage, all the presentations, and it was a really great day. Friday was the day before, obviously, where Liberated Movement got to get together as our community and get to know each other and do some masterminding. So that was amazing as well, to like be able to share that offline and brainstorm with one another and work through like blocks or things that we have fears over, and overcoming any kind of area of the business or personal life that may be holding us back.
Yeah,
Because to do that online is one thing, but it just it's just so much more when you're able to get together offline and share that with one another.
It really is. Yeah, it really is. And it's the fact that you can just be like, I don't understand. You can say that online, but it's like, I just don't really understand that. So you have that little bit of more time and more personable space to instead of everybody online obviously unmute and one person speaks, or else not everybody can speak together. And it's kind of more of a collective group conversation, isn't it? And it was really great, I thought, was for, I mean, including us, but everybody, new guys that have literally just joined the business and they've come to the first event, to not fully understand the compensation plan and the power of it, to ask the questions that they sometimes on a Zoom call feel like a bit, I don't think I can ask that question, because everybody at the beginning thinks that their questions are silly. There's no such thing as a silly question. So ask. And I think that was really, for me anyway, that was really, really noticeable at the event on Friday within Liberated, that nobody had any inhibitions, nobody held back, nobody felt uneasy. And it was just nothing but love and compassion and empathy, and everybody helping each other and just growing. And it was really nice to see, like obviously some of my team were there as well, and for them to be like, oh my god, you're such and such, and you're actually real. And it's so funny to see everybody's first reactions when they meet people, and that was really, really amazing. And you know, that was probably one of my biggest takeaways, I think, from that. But you also, Meg, stood up and did a session for the guys on Friday as well, didn't you? That was really, really good, and that, I think that helped a lot of them as well.
Yeah, I hope it did. I hope it gave the guys a lot of value, you know. And I was nervous, you know, even getting up there, even though, you know, being one of the leaders in the community, it's still, you still get those nerves. So it's very normal for throughout your whole business and your kind of journey, to when you step into something a little bit like out of your comfort zone, it's still very normal to feel that fear. So I just wanted to say that for everyone, because it's still very real, you know. But I really loved it. I love that we can just kind of like brainstorm with each other. You know, you put a thought or a subject out there, and for me particularly, it was personal brand, because it's something that we get to embody in our social media and how we want to attract our team. So we tell you guys all the time that we're able to attract people just like us, and people that we want to work with and who we want to help, and they align to us. So us being able to be who we are and being authentic and stuff, especially on social, you know, advertising and things, is super important. And it's one of those areas that not everybody can kind of grasp in the beginning, because
Yeah.
we've got phenomenal training, of course we do, but really it's independent how we want to run our business. So that was a great session. And yeah, no, it was great. It was good for everyone to kind of, as you said earlier, like, it's that space where everyone can just say whatever they want
Yeah.
without feeling like they're, I don't know, taking up space, or like let them take up space. Like, you guys are here, so
Yeah.
let's brainstorm, let's work together. And like when we went through the comp plan, because our comp plan is, you know, structured in an incredible way, but it can be a little bit complex for people to understand at first, because it's so powerful.
Yeah.
So being able to like literally have a whiteboard in front of us and just go through it all
Yeah.
is just there. So having that space to do that. And then after that event, we had a little surprise for the guys, didn't we?
Oh, we did. Oh, do you know, it was one of the best things I think I've ever done. It was so much fun. And it was so nice again just to watch everybody like just let their hair down. Do you know, we're normal people. We love to go out and have fun, and we love to just, you know, have no inhibitions. Like, I think a lot of us have, there's still a few that are working through the fear of judgment of others, which holds you back in yourself, doesn't it? And it stops you enjoying yourself to a degree where you're like, I don't care what other people think. I'm here to run a business. I'm here with my friends. I'm here with my community, and we're here to just have fun. And I think that was really visible on the event. Whereas, you know, when we got there, nobody knew what to expect, did we? Because Lisa had done us a huge surprise. Well, the leaders knew, didn't we? We kind of knew what was expected, but I didn't actually expect it to be as good as what it was. So
It
yeah,
was great. It was so much fun. Like a silent disco, like singing, dancing through the streets of London, and just everyone was getting involved, and I absolutely loved it, you know, because as you said, you know, people have their fears of judgment and whatever, but once you've got that headset on and you're in a group and you're with the Liberated Movement, it's like, let's go, we're taking on the town. It was so much fun.
it was brilliant, wasn't it? And then after that, you know, we just hit the pub, had a few drinks. Some of us stayed out a little bit longer than others.
One for the road.
And when we say that, we're actually talking about me, Meg, and Mike, and hence why anybody that's watching this on YouTube or can see the video, I don't have mud on my face. This is what happens when you stay out till 3 o'clock in the morning and then have to get up for a business event the next day. So we are completely normal. We like to go out and have a drink and let our hair down and have fun. And I dropped my phone on my face and I have a huge bruise under my lip. So that's what's going on there. But yeah, we had a great time.
Work hard, play harder.
Exactly. Yeah. So when we're all out partying, the businesses are automated, they're running in the background, you know, we don't have to think about that, which is another very powerful point of running an automated online business. It's great, you know, we can live our life and carry on and drop phones in our faces and then get up the next day and go to the business event, which was, as you say, it was the main event, wasn't it? So we got there at like, they did a meet and greet in the park, didn't they, at 9, which we kind of missed a little bit, but the guys that made that said it was really good and everybody got a positivity plate. So that was where everybody had a paper plate on their back and everybody went up and wrote messages on their plates about them. And I read Johnny's actually, and it was so sweet, like all these people that don't know him or have never met anybody apart from like obviously on community calls or online. Nobody really in the wider community, nobody really knows each other. You know faces and you kind of know names and that's it. So for them to have complete strangers come up and write such beautiful things on a plate for you to then take away, and this is all just by them watching you in social media and watching you grow your business and watching you in the wider community. And now that also allowed them to connect with those people that are now no longer strangers because they all know each other. So that was lovely, and the feedback from the guys was really good, and a lot of guys' first events as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And like you say, you know, we see each other on social media, but that might have been the first time that they're meeting each other. And then to like have all this positivity, just like vibing in the park and being able to share affirmations and nice things about each other, I just think is such a beautiful way to start the day and start the
Yeah.
event. It's like almost like a little icebreaker, isn't it? It's like, well, I've noticed this about you. Here's a characteristic that I love. I'm going to put it on your plate,
Yeah.
and here's something that you can keep. You know, I think it's a really, really lovely idea. I love that. And then yeah, we moved into the big main event,
Yeah.
which was Leicester Square. We had a great venue in there. So I don't know how many of there were us, like a couple hundred.
Sure, there was a couple of hundred of us. Yeah. It was
Yeah,
certainly jam-packed, that's for sure.
it was. Yeah, and this is loads of different communities, guys. You know, like because you know we're all collective in the business model that we use, but we all have different communities, but we are all one. Like we're a whole collective.
And we even had, shout out to Chris Brown, he flew all the way over from Australia to come to this event with us. So that was lovely to see him because we met him at the last event as well. So yeah,
Yeah,
really nice that he did that.
Mm. And they're open to everyone, you know, wherever you are in the world, like, you know, you can fly anywhere, you
Yeah.
know. I mean, we've been to events in Malaysia before and
Mhm.
Germany, and you know, they're open for everyone to attend, which is amazing, which
Yeah,
is
they
really
are.
nice. And being able to meet everyone like that as well. So that was great. And then we had our speakers.
Yes.
Wow, like every single one of them blew my mind.
Really, really great speeches and brought a few tears to our eyes at the same time. Very
Yeah.
emotional, some of them. Which is what this business is all about, isn't it? We're here to develop ourselves, and it's a personal development business. And what we get told very often by the leaders is it's a personal development program with a compensation plan. And that truly is what we have here. And when you see the guys on stage and just people in the community, it's pretty powerful. But our first speaker we had up was obviously our leader and co-founder of Liberated Movement. Yeah, Nadia, and she was amazing. She's been in the business now for 5 years, and yeah, her delivery, to go up there on her own and on that stage, give us some real raw truth about business, life, people you meet along the way. Everybody comes across somebody because it's not for everybody, and there's always that one person that will give you how can I put this in a polite way? Maybe not so nice messages, maybe not so nice voice notes, and it kind of gets your energy a little bit. And it's really important. And Nadia made this very quite clear, like it's really important to look after your own energy, your own space, and your own mind. And if those people come along and they come in and your energy is not matched, or they're taking all your energy, or they're just generally not being nice because they don't understand the online space, then say no, get rid of them. You don't want to work with those people. So we are here to choose who we work with. We're not here just to work with anybody and everybody, because we're driven to a point where we want our businesses to give us the complete freedom that we've spoken about in our previous podcasts, and those that do follow our social media is ultimately what we're here for. So to hear that from Nadia, to it's actually okay to say no to people and look after yourself, and that's a really, really important part of it. What did you take away from Nadia's speech?
Yeah, like just setting boundaries as well, really looking after yourself, because she's really learned how to do that and does it like a pro,
Yes.
taking in that kind of self-care and that self-love and allowing yourself to just be, and not allow anybody else to kind of affect that space. Like exactly like you were just saying, you don't need to attract anyone that is going to start giving you shit because you're running an online business. Like, Jesus, this is like your ticket to freedom. You don't want to be hearing stuff like that from people. But sadly enough, because it's, something different to what people used to, you're going to get it. You really are. But learning how to protect yourself and your energy and looking after yourself is like key to do that. And just keep going, like that's the thing with this business, is what we always like enforce with people, is like, if you don't stop and you just keep on this path, you are going to get there. Like, it doesn't matter how long it takes. Like Karen just said, like it definitely is a personal development journey with a compensation plan attached. So the more you're growing, the more your business is growing. And sometimes you go through stages of like, okay, I'm actually growing. There's personal development that is needed more right now than like the hammering and hustling the business side, and that's okay as well, So it's like it all evens itself out in the end, and that takes me on to like Claire's speech, because that hit me. That really
That
got
hit me
me. It was
hard.
very
Yeah.
emotional.
Yeah.
It was Claire's first time on stage, and she'd done phenomenal, like so amazing. And she was speaking all about that kind of, you know, being yourself, being authentic and finding your true self, because a lot of us in society and how we, we pretend, or we hide behind a mask. And so going on that development journey to allow yourself to really come into yourself and learn all of those things and really learn to be who you are, she has a very, very touching story where she started this business with her partner at the time. And as she started to grow and develop and build herself, that partnership fell apart. And sadly enough, that is something that kind of happens occasionally, whether it's with partners or friends or whatever. When you begin to grow, you outgrow the situation and the environment that you're in. And sometimes that happens, but it's not to say that that's the be all and end all. Like, you can continue growing and developing, and like she's phenomenal. Like her whole, just the whole emotion and the energy in the room, all I could feel was just like love, pure self-love, pure like honesty, compassion, and like good on her for getting up there.
Yeah, it took a lot of strength and courage. We've spoken stage in Malaysia. We know how that feels. And probably similar to the same number of people, just a kind of different environment. We had an interpreter, obviously, which made ours a little bit different, but seeing her up there and kind of watching her story and where she's come from to then, own the stage and everybody look up to her. And I don't think there was probably a dry eye in the house when she was talking and sharing her journey and her story, and like stop living as a people pleaser and saying yes to everybody else. And actually that's not what she wanted anymore. She found herself, and she found her inner
Like her
strength.
inner light. She was saying, like, let your light shine. Like there's a light inside you. Let it come out.
Yeah, and she's 100% done that. 100%. And just the energy you feel off of her is amazing. And she comes in my way quite a lot because she had a van, she's just looking for another one, and she's got a little caravan now. She's got a little caravan garden, and I was like, I love watching your little stories. So we've actually connected quite a lot on Instagram. So we're going to get a meet up down here in Cornwall, and have some kind of like just nice girl time and business time and stuff like that.
Nice.
So that'll be really special because she's lovely.
Mm.
But yeah, that was a very powerful speech. And then we obviously had the guys on stage as well, didn't we? And out of all of them, I don't really know what I wanted to talk about next. They were all very powerful speeches.
Yeah, they were. They really were. Like they were phenomenal. And I think like one that hugely stood out for me, which I don't think we've had loads of in these events, is Max when he was up on stage and speaking about his story with his journey with these phenomenal products that we work with, you know, and his story. I think we were all in shock, right, listening to him, and like from a very very like early age, he would suffer a lot with mouth ulcers, and it was getting to a point in his later years where these ulcers were just so sore and really taking over his life and putting him into a really bad state of mind. Because you can imagine, right? Imagine suffering your whole life with ulcers on your throat, on your face, you know, every time that you swallow, it's like razor blades. Imagine that. And he's gone through consultations and hospitals and doctors and medication and so much stuff in this whole journey, which I know there may be people listening to this, or people that will catch us on Instagram and might come onto this, that have illnesses or diseases that are undiagnosed, or chronic pain and things like this, that, you know, the doctors can't do anything about. They don't know what it is, and it's like, what else do you do? You're like at the end of your tether with it. And then he came across this business, and it wasn't even the products that he came in for. Originally, he was like, yeah, I want to be financially free. I want loads of money. Fantastic. Great. I'll take that.
Get a big hairy man on the internet messaging me about
Exactly. Big hairy man asking me if I want to start a business, you know, on the internet. And it's so funny. And they obviously heard his story, and he was like, yeah, all right, I'll try this water, you know, and traveled you know a bit down the country to go and experience this water, and within 3 days his
phenomenal.
ulcers were gone.
Yeah, you couldn't even imagine what he'd gone through. We all know what it's like to suffer pain, but when you've got toothache, or you know, maybe like a little ulcer in your mouth, put a little bit of Bonjela on and it goes away. But to live a lifetime of that pain and discomfort, to be in such a low mindset, where he was in a pretty deep, dark depression, to then all of a sudden be offered these ridiculous drugs from the doctor that there was no way he was going to be taken, to then find something as pure as the water that we have, because of the products that we use, is just a phenomenal story to share that journey. And he has the pictures. He didn't show us the pictures because I think they're pretty brutal. So he didn't want to obviously scare a few people, but just his whole story. And now he is an amazing dad, and he's got no more ulcers in his mouth, and he's got not just his health back, but he's also got a thriving business that gives him financial security, which is what he wanted. So he's got like the full package. He's got a beautiful little girl. He's going to build her that legacy income, and you know, she's never going to have to worry in her older years, you know, when she's sort of 20s or whatever. And you know, just the whole package of everything he's been through, and now everything he's got. It was just like, wow, that was like a power speech. That was phenomenal.
Yeah, it really was. And it just really highlights what we do here with True Health on all levels.
Because if the big hairy man on the internet hadn't reached out to the other community member that lived close by, then they wouldn't have done the water share. He wouldn't have experienced the water for just those 3 small days, to experience that life-changing moment, to then come back to the big hairy man on the internet and be like, what is this? And I need not just the product in my life, but I also need this compensation plan. And then that was it, wasn't it? That was really as simple as what it was.
Yeah, it really was. And it was so inspiring, you know, really is inspiring.
So don't always be scared of the big hairy men and women, whoever may be. that, you know, we do it for a reason. We're here to help you, and that's all. You know, we're here with good intentions. You know, and if the guys in the other community hadn't done what they've done, then, you know, Max would never be in the position he's in. So everything we do is out of pure love and intention to just help. So yeah, I mean, that was pretty powerful. And then we had another couple of speakers, didn't we? And then we had our own Bailey from the community with his literally mind-blowing speech about the mind.
Yeah, he was so ready for that. You know, like his whole presence on stage and just the whole setting just really got the whole room captivated on everything that he was talking about, you know. And it's such a relevant thing to talk about. So Bailey, for anyone that doesn't know, he is an expert on the mind. Like, he is phenomenal. He studied the mind from a young age, from back when his mum went through severe depression and had panic attacks and was really in a low state of her life. And obviously Bailey, for the love of his mum, wanted to understand and didn't grasp what was happening in her mind, you know. And you know, we go to the doctors, we take tablets and all this kind of stuff, but where's the cure? What's the cause of this, you know? So Bailey went on a he now dedicates his life to it, to understand the mind and help other people to understand it as well, which is phenomenal that we get to tap into that within our own community as well. And so he had his time on stage, you know, and it's been a long time coming, I'm sure. But yeah, it was very captivating. It was amazing, and I think the way that he explains anxiety and depression and how we can naturally go off course to things, and our radar, our mind is trying to, you know, take us back to our habits or our paradigm of what we're so used to and what we're conditioned to, and just understanding that side of it so that you know and you can identify it in yourself to change it.
Yeah, it was incredible to watch. Now, Bailey, for those that don't know him, he's on Instagram, Bailey.Hogwood, I think his handle is. Give him a follow, go and watch this guy.
We'll put everybody's Instagrams in the show notes, I think, on this, because I think it would be really useful for everyone to go and have a look at everyone, and you'll see how diverse these people are in what they do, how they approach this business as well. So I think that'd be really useful.
And the fact that, you know, like Bailey did this, as Meg said, out of pure love for his mum. He's only now 24 and he's, you know, he has grown massively in his own confidence, and probably when he was 16, 17 or whatever age he particularly was when his mum was going through those hard times, would he have had the knowledge, courage, strength and confidence to go and speak on stage? He knew all about the mind, and he's known about the mind for a long time. However, to have the courage and confidence to speak about it on stage as he does is because he knows so much about it, and he explains it in such a way that it's really easy to understand. Now, we in Liberated are very lucky that we get Bailey all to ourselves all the time, and we can tap into this, as can all the community if they know who he is. But when he was in the room and everybody asked the question about, you know, who's aware of psychocybernetics, sorry, then everybody's hand in Liberated like was up. Like, we know, we've heard about it, but everybody else was not. And it's such a huge piece of us in the business. So, you know, that was a pretty special place for Bailey to be able to be and empower everybody with his knowledge of the mind. And everybody was just, as you say, so blown away by the information that he gave with such clarity and conciseness, if that's the word, that it was just a very, very powerful, and again, yet another emotional speech. Not so much maybe for Bailey, because he's very cool, calm and collected and holds it all together extremely well, but looking around the room and feeling what people were feeling as he was talking, it was just like everybody must have had goosebumps on their skin. I know I did.
Yeah, I think it's, you know, learning that new information, and it's one of those that when you learn this new information, it's almost like, it's like deep down you knew it.
Yeah.
You know, because you're like, wow, that's just clicked and I've just understood what that means.
Yeah.
because he's been able to explain it in such a way that is the science behind it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Without
know, and
going too deep into it where people don't understand. He obviously has done that, and hence why he can teach it the way he does. But yeah, it's very powerful. Everybody's speech was,
yeah,
we
they were
had
all amazing.
we had
Really, really well.
Ian, not Ian, sorry, we had Andy and
Ali?
Ali, that's it. Andy and Ali, and they're from the wider community, and they went up and spoke and shared their story and their journeys in the business and why they're doing it and everything. So we could go on all day and all night about
Yeah.
all the speakers. I think we wanted to touch on just the power of the offline events, how the energy of working online, speaking to people on a screen like me and Meg are doing right now, to then actually go to your event for the first time and just don't be scared to go. Like, so many people actually go on their own and they're absolutely terrified, but they know they're going to go and meet people that they have been working with online for however many months or years. But because it's the first time of meeting them, it's quite a scary kind of situation initially. But then as soon as you meet, that energy is just like there, and it's incredible. So, I definitely want to put the point out to everybody that just, if you want to go an offline event, just do it. Don't let anything hold you back. It will.
Yeah, and there is to touch on that as well. There is no right time for you to be joining these events, guys. Like, from the day that you come into this, if there's an event happening, get your butt to it, because I'm telling you, it will change the game for you. Like, there was people that had never even left Scotland before, and they've come down to London and really set themselves. Bless Jenny, I love her so much. They step out their comfort zone and come into a space that they're really unfamiliar with. London is very different to Scotland. It's the hustle and bustle, but there is something for everyone. And I just want people to know that if you started 2 years ago, you started now, you've come off the business, you're back in the business, you're literally starting today. These events are open and available to every single person. Every single person.
Yeah, from day one. So don't be a stranger. Don't just sit in the background and watch. Get involved, because they're very powerful. They're very emotional.
Emotional too, yeah. In all ways, excitement and sadness and overcoming things, but like, you also get to tap into so many different people, like of all ranges, of all different experiences within the business. You literally have them in front of you that you can tap into that knowledge and that information. That's what I love. So you can really dive deep into other people and how they do things, and ask them questions and get ideas for your business, and
definitely.
it's great. It's really great.
And I think the key is, we're in network marketing. Our businesses are here to talk to people, so why not get involved and come and meet everyone, and don't be that stranger. Just come and make connections offline as well as online. Definitely.
And they happen all over the place, and even there is one happening next week that Karen is going to, and it's in Vegas.
No, my goodness. And like, what day? 5 sleeps.
Wow.
And I am going to Vegas. I cannot wait. And this one's going to be huge. Going to be massive. So I will tell you all about it when I get back, and tell you my takeaways, my highs and lows, what else I got up to when I was out there.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear all about it. I'm gutted, but I am absolutely buzzing for you guys to go. I really am.
But then in a few weeks, we're going to all meet up again. And this is how often we have these meets, guys. Like, it doesn't have to be one a year or one every 2 years or whatever. We've just had London. I'm just going to go to Vegas. I come back a couple of weeks after that. We've got another one down here in Devon. And again, they're open to everybody. And it's so important. And us as a community, as a Liberated Movement, it's really important for us to look after our community and nurture your community, and get to know your teammates, get to know your team members, and your they're not colleagues, are you? But you kind of like, in a way, you
your
are
business partners, your friends.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, you come into this, like I put my story the other day, like me and Meg didn't know each other 2 years ago. And now it's like we're like the best of friends, we're business owners, and then we've got like Lisa and you know, everybody else in the community that we have grown these incredible friendships with. And that's just what happened. You know, there was like Jenny and Kim had this incredible bond and friendship, and you met Rue for the first time, and it's just like, it's just such a nice place to be. And there's no bullshit, there's no animosity, there's no judgment, there's none of that, because we don't allow it. We do not take people like that in the community. So if this is something that you're looking to escape and find a way out from, which is why a lot of us are where we are, you know, reach out to us, come in and find out about the community. And if you enjoy it and you like it and you feel the energy and you can connect with us all, then you know, we will welcome you with open arms. We really will.
Yeah, such a great way to end this episode. It's so true. You know, if
Yeah.
you're trying to escape that, then just, you know, come and experience this, because it's like nothing else.
Yeah,
Honestly, just pure love, compassion, and helping and supporting one another.
absolutely. Yeah,
Cool.
definitely.
All right, guys.
Well,
Well, that wraps us up for episode 16 of the Vibe Online. I hope you've enjoyed it. You know, we
yeah,
love to have a good old natter, me and Karen do.
we
So
do.
if you have any feedback, comments, questions, you know where to find us. We're on Instagram, we're on Spotify, we're on
YouTube.
YouTube, wherever you are, wherever you listen to this, reach out to one of us. We would love to hear from you.
Yeah, and don't forget to subscribe and share, and we will tag all the speakers in this episode, and go and have a look at their inspirational journeys and stories on Instagram. You will not be disappointed.
Yeah, have a good snoop.
Yeah.
Until next week, we will be seeing you guys. I hope you have an amazing week, and we will be seeing you later.
See you later.